Hi.
Hello. How can I help?
Hi.
Hi. How can I help?
Sorry, I have a Honda EM7000is generator that runs, but it kind of surges, like a consistent surge, and then drops off the RPMs and then surges again, like every 4 to 5 seconds.
What's the make and model of the generator? And can you guesstimate how old it is?
Honda EM7000is. I think it's a predecessor to the EU7000is, so I would guess it's probably more than 10 years old.
Do you plan on doing the work yourself?
Maybe. Depends what it is, I guess.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
The surge is more pronounced when it is set to eco mode. In regular mode, it smooths out somewhat, but it still surges.
Hello, my name is. I am going to assist you with this. The surging is caused by a lean running condition. The engine is not getting enough fuel. This is a classic symptom of a carburetor that has become plugged with varnish. As gas gets old, it turns to varnish and clogs up the passageways inside the carburetor, not allowing enough gas to get to the engine. This condition is cumulative. Every time gas sits, the varnish builds up just a little more, like coats of paint, until eventually gas cannot flow. It will not happen overnight, but the symptoms can show up all of a sudden, even while simply stopping to refill with gas. The use of fuel additives, such as stable or sea foam, will not stop this process from happening. They will greatly slow it down, but the gas will still go bad. When this happens, either the engine simply will not start, or it will not run without the choke on. This reduces the amount of air getting pulled into the engine, changing the fuel/air mixture, or it will run but surges. Another issue that varnish in the carb can cause is that the varnish may not allow the float needle to seal properly against the seat, causing the flow of gas to not shut off when the bowl is full. The result will be gas overflowing the carb and running into the cylinder, and possibly out the air intake. If the gas gets into the cylinder, it will seep past the rings and down into the crankcase. This will be evidenced by your oil level being overfull and/or the oil smelling like gas. If this is the case, you will need to change the oil and filter, if it has a filter. The only two solutions are to either replace the carburetor or give it a good, thorough cleaning. When removing the carb, make sure to take a good picture, or make a good drawing of where all springs and linkages are attached. This will make reassembly much easier. Most people believe that cleaning a carb involves removing the bowl and wiping it out, then spraying some carb cleaner through it. This is simply insufficient. It takes months or years for this accumulation to build up. It just cannot be removed in minutes. To properly clean the carb, you must remove it, disassemble it, making sure to remove all non-metal parts, and soak it in a commercial solvent for several hours. Soaking it overnight is even better. Then clean all solvent off with a spray-type carb cleaner, making sure to get lots of cleaner into every hole and passage there is. Pay special attention to the tiny holes in the bore of the carb, under the throttle plate for the carbs that have these holes. Use lots of cleaner. And make sure to wear safety goggles to avoid getting the overspray into your eyes. There will be overspray. Dry the carb with low pressure compressed air. This is an EPA compliant carburetor, and as such, is not supposed to be taken apart or adjusted. When you have an issue with it, you are supposed to replace the entire carb. But, sometimes it is possible to clean them. Just remember, That is an EPA-compliant carb, there are no parts available for it, so if you lose or break anything, you will definitely need to get a new one. Occasionally, even a good cleaning is not going to be sufficient, and you may end up having to replace the carb anyhow. Be prepared for this. Personally, I do not recommend trying to clean this carb. I recommend replacement.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.